Well, y'all, the orange man done did it. He done did it. So the federal government just told the states to withhold the national SNAP benefits for November.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right. So after the government shutdown, they announced that they were going to be cutting back on foodstuffs and SNAP, right? And this was supposed to be happening on November this coming month. But Americans are in panic mode, and some Black Americans are blaming white Americans for all these things that are happening. And they're saying, according to them, white Americans were the biggest beneficiary of food stamps. So in today's episode, we're just going to be looking at the reaction of Americans in general who are talking about this situation and are putting forward their concerns once this happens.
Right, and most of them are suspecting that this move was made by the government because of the No Kings Protest Day, right? And to them, they feel like the government was trying to send a message. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section, and also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel. Let's watch and then we come back.
Let me make something perfectly clear. Stopping Medicaid and food supplement, nutritional supplement, SNAP benefits right before the holiday season is 1,000% intentional. 1,000%. So that means it is either going to be epically late as a part of collective punishment, and they announced it right before No King's Day on the 18th, because there's supposed to be a huge march going on the 18th, just as a warning to everybody. They announced it on the 18th, or they announced it the day before the 18th, or a couple days before the 18th, that there's a huge possibility that there will not be any SNAP benefits for November or December, or it'll be epically late with no, I'm guessing, no rollback or no back amount. I'm guessing, that's not confirmed. Military healthcare has been down all day, and they don't know when it'll be back up. They don't have any answers, and they can't tell them why it was down. Medicaid was down all day. All of this very much preventational, because they just sent $40 billion over to Argentina. And they sent hundreds of millions of dollars overseas to Israel. All of y'all money, they sent it over to all these other countries and told you to starve for November.
So due to the government shutdown, there will be no SNAP benefits dispersed for November of 2025. And I feel like y'all need to feel this, because y'all put those people in position to do this to y'all. Y'all voted for him. Y'all went out thinking that, oh, this man was going to give y'all something. Guess what? They cannot say it's the Democrats or the liberals, because guess what? The Republicans own every single part of the government. I'm talking about the Senate, the House, the presidency, and they own the Supreme Court. And it's always going to be about politics. Oh, the Democrats aren't doing this. No, y'all asked for this because y'all thought y'all was going to get a stimulus check and some free money. It's never going to be free. It's always going to be at the cost of the taxpayers' dollars. And they're going to say, oh, it's going to affect the brown and blacks. No, it affects the Caucasity, because guess who are on more government benefits than any other ethnicity? The Caucasity people are. And I feel like y'all need to feel that, because y'all went and did this. Because guess what? The rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. And it is what it is. But y'all know what to do. Get in the comments. Let's go. I'm not upset, because guess what? It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect a lot of people that are around me. But it is going to affect kids who are hungry. They're talking about the food banks are open. People are going to be starving in the richest country in the world. And y'all talking about, oh, it's somebody else's fault. No, it's y'all fault, because y'all put them people in position.
SNAP benefits will not be issued for the month of November. If you're new here, my name is Crystal. I am a social worker and a caseworker. I have been working in the social service field for over 10 years. I also worked at the SNAP Welfare Food Stamp Office for over 6 years. I have processed hundreds of SNAP cases, and in this video, I will explain to you what's happening with November SNAP benefits. Due to the government shutdown, many states are now sending out notifications stating that they do not have the funds to issue SNAP benefits for the month of November. The federal government has already informed all states that it will not fund November's benefits. And since the funding for SNAP comes from the federal government, the states literally have no money to pay out. Some states are outright saying that they will not issue November's benefits, and some states have not confirmed it yet. I'll just tell you, if you receive SNAP benefits, please be careful on how you spend October's benefits because there will be no more SNAP issued until this shutdown ends. I have some resources to help you find food pantries if you need it, linked in my bio. All you have to do is click the link, put in your zip code, and it will show you a list of food pantries near you. If you have any questions about this, feel free to let me know, and I hope this helped.
SNAP recipients will not receive their benefits on November 1st if the government is still shut down. And could this result in some states completely doing away with their SNAP programs? Absolutely. Let me break this down for you. First, the USDA, which is the U.S. Department of Agriculture, who oversees the SNAP program, sent out letters to every state dated October 10th, letting them know that there is not going to be enough government funds to pay for November SNAP benefits if the government is still shut down. Now, this is going to affect millions of people. Okay, so you understand this is what happens, and this is also what the USDA shared in this letter to the states. Every month, states have to send out information to the EBT vendor. Now, EBT is the card that individuals who are on food stamps receive their money so that they can use that card at the stores to purchase their food. Now, every month, states send out information to the EBT vendor, letting them know, okay, this household receives this much, etc., etc. Well, in that letter from the USDA, they inform states, do not send out that information to the EBT vendor until further notice. So with the EBT vendor not being provided that information, no funds will be added onto the EBT card, so SNAP benefits will not be provided to anyone if the government is still shut down for November 1st. And this is until further notice. There was no end date on that. For those who don't know, SNAP benefits are allocated the month prior. So the EBT vendor receives all the information from the states in September so that they know what to deposit on EBT cards October 1st. Now the government is shut down. There's no funding available, and the EBT vendor will not receive any information from states as directed by the USDA. So November 1st, there will be no SNAP benefits for SNAP recipients. This is going to affect millions of people who are not going to have money for food now. And this also gives the opportunity for states who do not want to have this program, who do not want to put money into the SNAP program and offer it to people in their state, they can eliminate the SNAP program now. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I shared a One Big Beautiful Bill update. It's a SNAP update. It's pinned. But that's what's going to happen, and most likely in red states. I will keep you updated on all of this. This is a fiasco.
I'm gonna tell you like this right here. If you done got your stamps for this month, or you haven't got them yet, if you done got your stamps, or when you get your stamps for this month, don't go running trying to sell your damn stamps. Don't go running buying all that goddamn junk food, them knickknacks and all that bullshit. Don't be trying to do nothing else other than put some grocery in that refrigerator and some grocery in that deep freezer, because I'm gonna tell y'all what's happening. So that whole rumor talk about no stamps being issued in November is a fact. Nobody in America that's in the EBT or part of the EBT program will receive food stamps in the month of November. Nowhere in the United States, if they have a government SNAP EBT program, wherever you are, they will not be issuing no benefits. Now, this is the crazy thing. I don't know if y'all really believe a lot of the stuff or if y'all reading up on it, but bro, brace yourself, because it's not just November. Listen to me, it's not just November. It's not just November. They trying to phase out and get rid of food stamps, just like they trying to do the Section 8, the government assistant, anything that's government assisted, any programs, they trying to get rid of all of that. You see what I mean? And they telling everybody it's to save money and it's to this and it's that. That's not what it's for. That's not what it's for. Don't be no fool.
So this lady in Memphis says she gets up this morning to find out that her food stamps are gone. So I thought it was a joke at first, but no, she took us to the food stamp or SNAP benefits office with her to talk to the social worker, where the social worker told her that yes, the food stamps are gone, nothing they can do about them, and guess what? You will not get a refund for this month, but reimbursement for this month, just wait till next month. This lady says, what am I going to do? My baby needs milk, and I have 6 kids. This is what I want to say, and some people going to get mad at me. I think the government has set everybody up real good, and this is why. When I was coming up, I said all the time we was poor. Mama cooked breakfast for dinner, but it was only I'm only only child. I think my mom and dad knew that they couldn't afford 2 children, so they didn't rely on any help. They did the best they could with the one child that was me. I have to ask this question, y'all. The government has set y'all up good, because I want to know, what would you do if you couldn't get food stamps at all and you were responsible for every child that you put out of your body? That's my question, and y'all gonna get mad, but it is what it is.
Did you guys realize that there's so many people talking about the food stamp cut that's going on, as far as like people not getting their food stamps for the month of November? But what I'm gonna say is probably not gonna benefit you or change the narrative of what's going on for the month of November. But what I am gonna say is, did you guys realize that around the first of the month, when the majority of people get their food stamps around the first of the month, not everybody, some people get them like on the 3rd, the 15th, it all depends. I don't know if it goes by your last name or what, but majority, if not all of these grocery stores around the U.S., they depend on those billions of dollars worth of food stamps to come in every single month. They prep for it every month at their grocery store. That's why when you go into a store around the first of the month, you see fresh grapes. Everything looks so fresh and pretty, because they know that it's going to leave those shelves quick. You guys realize, even if it's just the month of November and people don't get their food stamps, do you know how bad that's going to hurt the grocery stores?
Well, this is an important cup of tea. A whole lot of y'all have reached out to me today about the news that's spreading that people that receive SNAP benefits will not receive their benefits starting November 1st. SNAP benefits, EBT, that is food stamps. And yes, a letter was sent to states to tell them to withhold releasing funds to recipients, dear. And in that letter, they were talking about the shutdown. But that's not what's going on. No, baby, I've got the entire cup of tea. So what you may not know is that back in May, the current regime sent letters all across the US of A to the SNAP departments, to the EBT departments, requesting data on EBT recipients, those who receive food stamp benefits, going all the way back, this is important, all the way back to 2020. Now, what was going on in the United States in 2020? The flu-pocalypse. And because of the flu-pocalypse, people in the United States were receiving SNAP benefits that had never received SNAP benefits before, under emergency SNAP benefits. Millions of Americans who had never received SNAP benefits before were receiving them because we were in a national emergency because of the flu-pocalypse. Just like people who had never before qualified for unemployment because they were 1099 employees were receiving unemployment benefits because we were in a crisis here. Okay. So it's safe to say that a whole lot of the people who started freshly and newly receiving benefits in 2020 are no longer receiving those benefits anymore, because that emergency is over. Right? Right. Now, blue states refute 27 states turned over that data. Red states, they turned over that data to the federal government about who in their state receives these SNAP benefits. And this isn't regular data. This is all your personal information. You see, we already give data to the federal government about SNAP benefits, not the names of the people who receive it or their home or addresses or their social security numbers or all that other stuff that you put on those applications. Just data about how many people are receiving the benefits and what the amounts are. That's normal. But asking for all this personal data is not normal. And blue states came out to say, nope, we're not sending you this data because this is just another play by this regime to collect data on Americans for surveillance for immigration operations. And they refused to send in that private data to the current regime. And it pissed off the current regime, dear. It did. It pissed them off because legally, these states don't have to turn over that data. They don't have to. Nope, they don't have to. And it's pissed off the current administration. So in a play to try to force Democratic states to hand over your private information. They're threatening to withhold benefits. And it's an empty threat because the federal government doesn't have the authority to come into your state and force EBT to withhold your benefits. However, alarm bells should be going off for you today if you are living in a red state, because these 27 red states complied right away in May and handed over that data to the regime.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's ironic that this announcement came a few days before the No Kings protests that they're calling anti-American protests, right? Also, the ceasement of Medicaid and benefits happening during the holiday season is also on purpose. It's on purpose. And they're saying that there's not going to be any rollback. But people are still saying that they don't get involved in politics. They don't get involved with the government. Okay.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section, yeah? And also, I just wanted to ask you guys, right? Do you think that the move the government made was the correct move, being that a lot of people depended on SNAP benefits and food stamps, and a lot of families genuinely depend on this, because without it, it means going without a meal for another day, you know?
And some people were also saying that this happened because maybe the government finally wants to be done with giving food stamps, and this is just like an experimental period to see how people will take it. But I don't know. Right now, it's just a lot of speculations going around on the internet, because obviously right now people are just wondering, for those who do depend on these services, how are they gonna make it through, especially now that we're headed into the holiday season?
If this was the case, then the next question becomes, do you think that this was the right way to go about it? Because I feel like the political class are a little bit out of touch with the real people on the ground and the realities people have to live with. Because there was a story being told by one of our speakers, and she was talking about this woman who had kids, right? 6 kids, and she just realized that her benefits had been cut back, and she was concerned because she had 6 kids, right? In such a situation, I don't feel like the political class would even know or fathom how this woman is going to be providing for her kids, or being that, okay, the government is the one that made people become used to that kind of system where you have something to fall back on should you not have a work, or just some sort of contingency to make sure that you go forward or you happen to live another day. So just coming from that and taking it all away, I feel like it's gonna bring about the hugest impact one can ever imagine. And also, we also have to think about something that people normally like to say, a common saying about, you know, keep them hungry in order to lead them, you know. And if you control the food, then you most definitely can be able to control the crowd. But until when will that happen before the crowd, you know, goes out of control? Because if also hungry people don't even think, you know, people are going to be doing crazy stuff out there, you know.
Right.
And this is giving birth to a very different kind of society. I don't know how it's going to play out. I guess it's something that you're going to be having to wait and see. But still, I feel like this is a huge mess that has been unlocked, you know.
Right. Well, on the other hand, there are 2 people who spoke today. It was a woman and a man, and I think like that both of them had the same tone, and they were saying that now that this is happening, there is no other way but for people to have less kids, especially kids that you can manage, you know. So what do you think about that kind of reasoning?
Right, that is also a solution, because I mean, but you know, one thing I also learned, and it's this idea that people normally used to look at Africa about, is that people who are unemployed, people who are just going through a lot, have a lot of time to have babies. And that is something that was being related to Africa when you think about Africa and the growing population. So you never know what is going to happen during this month that these crazy things have been put forward, and at the end of the day you ask yourself, what is the end goal? What is the government intending to achieve? And are they prepared for the outcome that these things are going to be having,
Right, because as it is right now, a lot of Americans are not having kids, and most of them have chosen to just outright not have kids because of the economic situation in America. And for those who are having kids, yeah, most of them can afford, and others rely on government assistance like this. But what happens when you remove even the government assistance from the equation? Do you really think that the American population will improve right now, everything considered?
Right now, I don't feel like we should even be talking about that because there's a lot of crisis going on in America and people are just trying to survive in general, And the question is, what is the solution? Because you can't come from a system where it's like you make me used to a certain type of lifestyle and then from there, you just yank me out of it. It's going to be very difficult. I feel like, but I'm not a professional to advise on these kinds of things to do with the government. They obviously have people to do that, and whoever advise them about this, clearly they know. I guess we are going to be waiting to see the effect of that, But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, how can you take such things from people when you made them used to it? You could have gone, okay, I don't know, you could have gone about it by just cutting it back a little bit, but still letting them feel like their lifestyle is not far away from what they used to enjoy in reality,
Right. So guys, let us know what you think about this episode and also what you think about this situation, right? And also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.
Right. And above all, before we go, I'd just like to say, like, at this point, I feel like the only thing we can do for America and Americans is just to pray for, because there are people out there who are really going through it,
Right.
And my only thing is just to pray for you to get through this, because I know it's difficult, I know it's tough. When you have to like wake up every day, you're wondering about what next is going to affect you, how you're gonna be feeding your family, how you have to get out there to look for a job. It's really, really difficult when everything is imploding at the same time, So a lot of prayers for you, and I really hope you stay strong and get through this, because I have to say nothing stays like that forever. No situation is permanent, because at the end of the day, even when it rains, the sun has to come out at some point. So let's all look forward to that light at the end of the tunnel,
Right. So guys, let us know what you think about this episode, right? We'll see you on our next episode.